right. Welcome everybody to Talk That Talk, where we have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversation about band, HBCU, band culture, music education, and more. Don't forget, you can go ahead and get anything in our store. All you got to do is go to our store, actually, pick out whatever you want, put it in your cart, and you can get 30% off your purchase. All you got to do is type in HBCU band. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share, and the super chats are always open. Yo, it's been a long minute since all three of us was up here, and we just gonna have fun tonight. So with that being said, Quan, what you got? What's going on?
First of all, Happy New Year, everybody. We're excited about that. God has seen us through another year by and by. But now Happy New Year to everybody. Back into the things. My favorite time of the year, concert band season. Of course.
Parade season, baby. It's parade season.
Yeah. Well, that too. I'm not gonna lie. In Houston, for those that don't know, for the last decade, they've been having like 2 or 3 separate parades for MLK. This is the first year. It's called the Unity Parade. All the parades that's in Houston are coming together. From what I was told, they have over 300 participants this year, over 40 bands this year, all in the name of Dr. King, our dear brother of Alpha. But I mean, I'm excited to just experience that. First of all, the city coming together. So I'm excited for that aspect of parade season. Two, I am presenting at TMEA this year on the panel with some other colleagues as well. It's talking about teaching in urban areas and just being resilient. So if you are in Texas and if you're stopping by TMEA, please stop by to see our session. Trust me, it's going to be a good one. I'm still moseying on down in my doctoral program. That's it's real. It's getting real. I'm halfway done now, so it's 60 hours total. I'm 30, so as well as being a full time band director, and then last but not least, I became another godfather over the break. You know, I'm still working on our relationship for my godson. He kind of mean, I love it. Like his facial expression doesn't change at all. And you're a real gangster, and I feel like we're gonna be real close as we get older.
His
That's about it,
facial
man.
expression changes quite often.
Yeah, it'd be like me. It's mug to mugger, mugging harder, So yeah, but that's
All
my
right.
guy though.
Okay.
I
All
mean,
right.
yeah, gangster.
So I definitely want to go ahead and say this very quickly. I was requested. I'm gonna just go ahead and put it out in the public. I know she's watching, but I was requested to attend TMEA this year, and so that request came from somebody, and they wanted me to ask my wife if it was okay if I went. So I'm gonna ask live on the air, uh, baby, can I go? Just hey,
Hell
listen.
nah.
Right. Portia, what's going on?
Nothing much. Happy New Year to everybody. Just happy to see 2026. We got a parade that we didn't have the last time I was on the show. So we're doing the inauguration parade for the first female governor of Virginia. And then it's recruitment season. So
I'm so excited for you all in this parade. I'm just joking.
Hey,
I'm
I ain't
not
trying to be
joking.
funny. She
I'm not
black.
joking.
She's black. Or she not?
Man, I was looking for this
What?
when I couldn't find it. There we go. I was looking for that when both of y'all was making y'all announcements for all the great stuff, right? Because you had stuff
yeah,
going on, and then she got
she's
the
not.
parade. So
No, she's not. But she is the first female. So we're gonna celebrate the milestone, and then it's recruitment
Oh,
season. So if you have any color guard that want to come to Virginia or is in Virginia, have them come out.
okay, all right. Recruiting
you
season.
know
We
what's
trying to get 40 silks this upcoming year. So bring your flag girls. Let them try out. Portia's gonna take great care of them. She is phenomenal. So
Shit.
yeah, absolutely.
So we have, this is honestly in the last, I've been in 7 years. This is the biggest flag court that we've had. But I think Portia, if you take a trip to Houston and and then Julian take a trip to Houston, yeah, he just come back home because we get this French's chicken on meat this time. Um, and you could do a clinic here. You know what I'm saying? And we just do it like that. Then you can recruit all the, I can get all the Houston flag girls in one area. And guess what? That's a business trip. I know I can get 40. I know I can get 40. Just saying. Think
I
about it.
would take the Frenchies. I'll take the Frenchies. Give me a king
Yeah,
special.
we'll get
It'd be right on time.
and with a red soda, no ice. We'll get it for you, Portia.
I never did the red
We'll
soda.
talk about it. I'm gonna see if I can get William H. Bethea to pay for that.
Side note, I know we're on strict time, but I talked to him, and I want to say thank you for setting that call up. I'm a descendant of Mr. Bethea. I'm gonna tell you why, because his student, because he was at Jackson, and
Yes.
his student was Mr. Calvin. Mr. Calvin was my first drum instructor. And so like
Oh,
we was just talking it up, and he was like, yeah, I was at Jackson. I said, well, Mr. Calvin. He was like, yeah, I know Calvin. I said, well, Calvin was my drum instructor. And the conversation went from like, you could tell like he was very busy, but with the conversation extended another hour just because of that connection. I'm just
I'm
saying, like
happy it worked out.
he's solid with me. He's
Connections are
solid.
important. Connections are definitely
Yeah.
important. That's a beautiful way to bond brothers of percussion and music together. So hey, man, I think it's dope. All right, let's go ahead and jump into this first thing. So if you all do not know, if you all are not or have been living under a rock, um, Pepsi National Battle of the Bands has a Battle of the Bands coming up in Florida, in Palm Beach, Florida, and it's very interesting to see. I think it's a great thing. In my opinion, I think it's a great thing to actually bring the Battle of the Bands culture to that area. Did you all or had you all heard about it or and if you did, what's you all's thoughts on it?
Portia, go ahead. Cover that.
I have heard about it. I think it's cool because that area, you know, for something this large, I do want to say I'm just happy that we weren't invited. Um, but yeah, I think it's a good opportunity for that area. I mean, you have HBCUs in Florida, but something of this size and scale, I think, is a good thing because normally it's Atlanta or Houston. So I think it's dope that it's going to be in a different space.
Okay. Quan, any thoughts on it?
Um, I have a few questions. So I didn't see the lineup. I'll look it up real quick. I didn't see the lineup for
Well, I
those.
can tell you the lineup if you need to know.
Please, please.
It's Florida Memorial, A&T, South Carolina State, Bethune, FAM, and Southern.
Okay. The
Say it
only thing
again.
Florida Memorial, Bethune, FAM, A&T, South Carolina State, Southern.
Yeah, they strategically pick those Florida bands because they don't have to pay for them really to travel.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. I,
Yeah.
I'm sometimes I feel like, and maybe this is wrong. I feel like the battle of the band game is so saturated. Like, and
These are the same people that do the national at the beginning,
Yeah,
right.
right?
this is Weber Marketing, and yeah, those are those guys. Yeah.
So what's
Well,
crazy for me?
wasn't Southern at the one in August though?
So here's you brought up something I was going to bring up later. Um,
Okay, I'm sorry.
but I mean, I want Quan to go ahead and finish his thought before I start throwing that out there.
Nah, I think me and Portia was going on the same trajectory because I just feel like what I was saying was it's oversaturated, but it's the same bands. Now we get it. There's certain bands, real talk, that's going to bring the money, that's going to bring the following. You know what I'm saying? Like we just know that, right? Um, but I also feel like there's other bands that can be showcased. Like, and maybe I'm wrong, but that's just how I feel, bro.
Yeah,
Um,
I think if you're gonna have two, that this later one should have been different people.
right,
In
right.
my opinion, I get that, to me, it's two opportunities to see, bands on this scale, or level twice a year, one at the beginning and one at the end. I don't think that including the same bands, I mean, what's the point of that?
Like being honest, I would have preferred, and honestly, that setup, I wish it was like that. So whatever band you didn't see in Houston, you could see that band in Florida. Like, so for example, y'all didn't go this year to Houston, so it would have been fire for y'all to been in this one. Or fam, you went to this one, so, and I get it being Florida, so I mean that makes sense, right? But it would have been nice to see, like, just say Winston Salem, or even another band in like that smaller category, such as like Johnson C. Smith or another one. I'm always a proponent for bands who never get a chance to showcase. Real talk, Kentucky State with Dr. Chisholm, like somebody else could have been showcased outside of just like these same bands. And honestly, I understand the publicity. I understand Southern, just winning their particular ESPN division, but it's like other bands can be seen. Now, South Carolina State, they didn't go to the one in Houston, so I get that. But there's another band, Fayetteville, could have went because they didn't go. Or Albany, they could have went to. Well, Albany, that was at ESPN, right? Luke,
Albany?
yeah, was
Mm-mm.
it was it?
No,
No,
that was Fort Valley, wasn't it?
it was Miles and Fayetteville
For
State or Fort.
It was either Fort Valley or Fayetteville. I can't remember, but it was
the
one of them.
colors the same. That's why it looks like
Yeah,
that's why I'm just
I think it
yeah,
was Fayetteville.
yeah. I
okay.
think it was
So it's
Fayetteville
like
State.
so the other one could have went. You see what I'm saying? But hey.
So, I watched the press conference on this quite a while ago.
Oh, Morgan. I'm sorry, Morgan. You're right. I just saw it in the chat. Morgan. That's another one. They did great for Rose Bowl, by the way.
I got some thoughts about that, but so I watched the press conference on that a while ago, and so at the time they only had 5 bands. So one thing that I will definitely say about Weber and Weber Marketing is the fact that they do a very good job of making sure that they have promoted this specifically as a showcase. So they're not promoting it specifically as a battle, even though it's called the Battle of the Bands. But every single time that they spoke on it or he spoke on it, he made sure to acknowledge that it was a showcase. But the other thing that I remember seeing specifically is the fact that because this is something new, they wanted to bring it to the area. My first thought, because the first 5 bands that they had were Florida Memorial, A&T, Bethune, South Carolina, and Southern. And then they were like, there's going to be one more band that falls into place. I was like, man, look. First of all, it makes no sense to have a battle of the bands, or excuse me, a showcase like this and not invite home programs. So Bethune, Florida Memorial was already in there. In my brain, I was like, dog, the last one's gonna be fam. Like it don't make no sense to not invite fam. And then you sprinkle some A&T in there, which in my opinion, from a drilling perspective, because you already know that these showcases are generally very drill heavy. From a drilling perspective, you want to get one of the top drilling groups in there. That to me makes sense. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how South Carolina got in there, but they were probably just available. And then you got to throw what? I'm just saying. I'm just saying, not listen, because I don't think that South Carolina's bad, but I mean, Southern fam, Bethune, A&T, South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't think they're bad though. I'm just saying it's just the dynamic is a little different. But regardless, they're in and they get to get showcased. So,
Say,
congratulations to them. What?
you know who never really get love?
A lot of bands.
A lot, but this one in particular. UAPB never really get love. Why they treated like the bastard child?
That's true. That's true. They
Like,
don't.
real talk, they really get treated like the bastard child, bro.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because well, we talking about that. We can tackle that in the further topic because that is part of the further topic. So, but all in all, to put a period on this. I mean, to me, from a marketing perspective, first time out the gate, it makes sense to have Southern Fan Bethune, A&T, Florida Memorial, and then toss it a coin to South Carolina State. I mean, it kind of makes sense. That's the way I saw it, and I could be like extremely wrong, but that's the way that I kind of saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. You don't know. All right. That's fine. Now, my question is, do you believe this is going to be a good show and a good turnout?
Well, I think the thing that's working in their favor is the 3 Florida bands.
Yeah, I would agree to that.
That's going to be your base right there. Um, People from Southern travel. So, you know, um, A&T folks tend to show up too. I don't think it's going to be a bad turnout. I don't.
Yeah, I think
I
the
do
turnout's
think
going to
it
be
is. When is this going to be?
fine. January 17th.
Oh, so next week. See, I don't know how they worked all this out because our students weren't scheduled to come back until uh this weekend coming up. So that would only give you a week to prepare. Now we are coming back a little bit earlier for the parade, but I don't know how I don't know how you're gonna pull that off. They had to have brought those students back earlier.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was thinking about too. Like we're well past the end of the season. So
Right.
my question is like, what you gonna get? You know what I'm saying? Kids
Yeah,
are
because
coming
I know
back from break.
yeah, and I don't know how long those students have been gone, but I know Norfolk State students been gone a long time because they started a couple of years ago where the week of Thanksgiving they leave and don't come back. They finish the rest of the semester virtually. So you don't have to, work on travel plans twice, 2 weeks apart. They didn't care about that when we were in school, but now they get all the luxuries. So I just don't know how you work that out. They had to have come back early. And if they didn't, that's going to be an interesting couple of days. Because you have to think about it. If it's on Saturday the 17th, that means that you have to travel. Some of them might be traveling that day, but like the A&T, they probably going in the day before. So it's not a lot of time, but um, I'm hoping for good things.
Yeah,
Well, I must say this: out of these bands, these are some drilling bands.
exactly,
Like, I'm
exactly.
not. I can't take that away from it. But these are some real drilling bands. Now, I say this though. I think this is a solid lineup for what it is. But because Jackson didn't participate in the ESPN, and then they weren't in the Pepsi National Battle of the Band. Well, no, they were. I'm sorry, they were. It would have been good to see them now, if that makes sense. Then I was, I know we was kind of like being smug about it, but it would have been good to see another swag band that's not normally showcased, in my opinion. Like I wouldn't have mind if I saw Alabama A&M or UAPB. I'm not knocking like my school, but it's kind of like with these battles of the bands, because they're so oversaturated and YouTube is there, and the media teams are there. I want to see something that I didn't see before, and sometimes like it's the same lineup, because I get it. They're gonna put the butts in the seats, which this is still a business, right? But from this the bandsman or sportsman concept, we're seeing the same bands over and over, um, and that's what makes it monotonous, honestly. This and gym battles, but honestly, I wish they would have flipped it. The bands that you didn't see in Texas, you see them in Florida. Because honestly, this is a lot of. There's only one band technically from the SWAC, right? Bethune Cookman in Florida, they're in the SWAC, but
Oh,
they're
Southern.
so. That's what I'm saying. They're like Southern is the only band from the
Oh,
old guard of the SWAC.
swag,
You
swag,
know what
swag, swag. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Got you.
It's like this is they're so far east, and then to a degree they don't really travel, because it costs so much to travel from Florida, you know. So I would have preferred to see a Jackson, Alabama A&M. You could put State in there, and honestly, give UAPB a chance, because when UAPB went to Honda, they did really well. So, but that's all I'm saying.
And
A lot of
I
East,
do what
there's a lot of East Coast schools.
makes sense. Where it's located,
Yeah,
kinda,
but
kinda. But I do actually want to bring this topic up, and this is actually moving on to the next topic. You have Florida Memorial inside of this competition, and so first things first, man. We actually lost um somebody very, very big in the marching band community, Dr. Richard Beckford, the director of bands at Florida Memorial. Um, just in my opinion, just kind of just was not expected. I did not expect that to happen. And I know that the staff and the students are really feeling it. So my prayers definitely, and even when I heard it, I did pray in that moment, but my prayers are definitely going out to the family, the staff, the students, and all who have known him and know him very closely. But I can't imagine, because if I'm not mistaken, Dr. Bedford got to Florida Memorial in 2020. And he was in the building process of this program. I can't imagine what it's like when you're building a program from the ground up, and the trajectory is going up and up, and then you lose the person, the visionary, the person who's in front. I can't imagine what that is and what that feels like, and what that recovery looks like. And so I say all that to say, when we think about Florida Memorial, what do you all think is, what that program is going to look like going forward, after this heavy, heavy loss?
What do you mean going forward? Like in
Um,
the near
well,
future, next season? What are we talking
well,
about?
I'm more or less talking about like structure. I'm talking about the creativity and so on and so forth, because again, when you lose, it's like losing Chief, in the beginning of the Legion process. You know what I'm saying? So, what do you, and we've seen what the success of Florida Memorial has looked like within the past, 4 to 5 years. And so, what do you all think is going to the program is going to look like going forward? Do you think there's going to be minor changes, so on and so forth?
Hopefully, I guess from my perspective is that they put somebody in who understood the vision and will take that, grow it, and add their aspects to it. But hopefully they don't lose momentum. Hopefully, though this I can't imagine what they're going through. I just can't imagine with those students, that staff, when you spend this amount of time together, that I mean, you feel those kinds of losses more than their family because of how much time you spend together. So I can't imagine what they're going through, but I hope that they continue to move forward, to push forward, to innovate, to carry on, in his memory, and to hopefully fulfill his vision for the program. Um, yeah, I'm hoping that they continue to go forward and to do what we've been seeing from them.
Quan, any thoughts, brother?
Yeah, I mean, I've experienced this personally in 2009 when Professor George Edwards, my band director, um, passed away, and and the way that he passed, some say that it possibly was preventable. Those that don't know, he got in a car wreck and didn't seek medical attention. Initially, he thought he was fine, and then later found out, he had other complications. But honestly, the best advice that I could give the Florida Memorial band staff and members is grieve. Like
Yeah,
walk through your process, bro. You gonna have to. And those directors, they're going to have to walk through that process like with some mental check-ins weekly, like for real. Um, I also recommend if I was that administration staff, I would definitely have to hire somebody within. So like a recent graduate, like to add on staff. I would merely promote the whoever was the assistant. You're the head now, and then we need to find another person under the regime and understanding of the vision of Dr. Beckford. Like it has to be like that because
consistency.
yeah, anybody else that you bring in that that doesn't align with that because it's so sensitive, the students will rebel. And again, like I say, we were when Prophet was passed, he's Dr. Nicholas Thomas now, but Dr. Thomas came in, he was from FAMU. Well, Prof Edwards was from FAMU. He was more accepted, being honest. Like we had to try to figure him out because he was a very anybody that knows what they call him Nick, well, Prof Thomas is like he's very quiet, very laid back, but he's very observant. So we didn't know how that was because here's the truth. When a band director passed away and that person takes the seat, you look at that person as your father figure. And I hate to say it, but this example is almost like, oh, this stepdaddy now. And so you try to see, well, my daddy put his jacket like this. Well, why you putting your jacket like that? You question everything, and then you got to realize they're still children too. You know what I'm saying? They're young adults, but you gravitate and you attach to these individuals like, they're your father figures. He big uncle, So that would be my recommendation, but most importantly, prayer. And then you gotta grieve. You gotta walk through that process. You gotta, when you play that alma mater for the first time, or that chorale, or that song he wrote is gonna hit you differently. It's gonna hit you every time. So that's just what I recommend. Grieve, man. Walk through your process.
Yeah, I definitely echo the sentiments of both of you all. Yeah, I was just, and I'm well aware, um, that there are probably systems that were already in place or systems that they have in place just in case, so on and so forth. But I definitely agree with the things that both of you all have said. I don't think that we'll see a decline. I definitely believe that we'll continue to see them, the upward mobility of the program. It's just really interesting to see again to lose such a major figure in the infancy of a beginning of a growing program, and so definitely just kind of wanted to hit on that. And there we actually did experience another loss in the band world. I don't, a lot of people don't know this young brother, but somebody that I marched with, his name was John King. We marched together at Willow Ridge High School, went to Texas Southern, brother of KK Psi, and really great guy. So really hard to hear about those deaths, you know, but again, prayers out to those families, and continuing prayers to all who knew these brothers and were closely connected to them. Portia, you still good or no? All right. Well, Portia has got to go, and she's unfortunately leaving at a great time because we about to talk some mess, but it's okay because she'll be back for some more mess talking. But we love you, and we'll see you.
Yep.
All
Be
right.
easy, bro.
Hi, y'all.
For sure.
All right. So let's get to the nitty gritty of what we got to discuss today, my brother, because I know you've been waiting on this here. We talking about the SWAC today. We are giving our thoughts and our rankings on the SWAC. Now, before y'all start going ham, we gonna do the MEAC too, just not today. We gonna get to the MEAC, and we gonna toss in and sprinkle in some of the CIAA and is it SEAC or SIAC? Yeah, somebody tell me. SAIC. There we go. But we're definitely gonna give our rankings on the SWAC, and we got. I got to look at my time. All right, we got less than 30 minutes to make it happen. All right, so. With that being said, let's go down the list of the SWAC and see what our thoughts are. You said it earlier, University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, UAPB. What are your thoughts? Because I know you just said that you felt like they were the stepchild. What'd you say? Stepchildren of the SWAC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on UAPB? Their output this year, and where do you feel like they fall?
I feel like I say, they're not it's not a bad program at all. I just don't feel like they get out there. And because they don't get out there, I feel like they're not really battle tested. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the unfortunate thing too. But before we really get into this, was my prediction correct? Remember that prediction that I said about the Pepsi? I mean ESPN.
I mean, we all said the same thing, didn't we?
I don't know, but I said that was the band that's going to be in there. I want to reiterate. Go look at the older clips. I said how it was going to play out as soon as Bethune and Jackson got out. Who was going to be number one and number two? But
yeah, I think we all kind of agreed on that same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, we kind of knew that was going to end up happening.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the band world. I think the band world knew. Well, those who weren't delusional, I think those people knew. So yeah.
But even I see Justin. He was like they've been traveling. But my thing, who from a football standpoint, for those games, who have they been across? I haven't seen many clips of them being across from them.
Well, let me ask you this question, because it's a two-part question. The first part of the question is, does the level and greatness of a program depend on the traveling? And then the second question is, because like you say, you feel like they are the stepchildren of the SWAC, if they were sitting across from a lot of other bands, do you think people even paid attention to it? Like I mean, Jackson against UAPB. I don't know how many people will be like, yeah, man, I got to watch this one.
No, they wouldn't, but it's almost like this. Think about those blue chip or 2-star recruits. It's like the recruiter came for the 5-star on the opposite team, but you were showing out you. And then all of a sudden you get on the radar due to the fact of somebody was looking for something else, but they end up seeing you. I think it would be that type of situation. Let's be honest, right now, currently, bro, if a person says Jackson, everybody's going to go with them. They're a juggernaut right now. Like they're the school to beat when it comes to band. That's where it is, bro. I may not agree with everything about the program, but from a marketing standpoint and from the momentum that they have right now, like it's Jackson. momentum that they have. It will,
Momentum.
yeah. So I
Your
mean,
New Orleans is coming out. Momentum, brother.
I know momentum. I'm just joking. That's the pops, momentum. But
Got you. Okay, I got you. Momentum. Oh,
yeah,
I got you. My bad. My bad. I didn't catch the reference. It's the first time. Sue
it's
me.
okay.
All right, but go
Yeah.
ahead.
But I agree, Justin, though, too. Like I said that earlier in the beginning of the show, UAPB did great at Honda. I had kids that actually wanted to go there. But my thing is, I don't feel like outside of Honda, what other like eye-catching showing that they did this year, you know?
I,
And I
I
think that matters too.
I will say this,
Mhm.
and correct me if I'm wrong. Um, I just believe they hit or miss. And I say that in the way of saying I agree that within these past couple of years, specifically that time when we saw them at Mardi Gras,
Mhm.
and everybody was like, "Dang, what kind of UAPB is this?" Ever
Mhm.
since then, they've done some things, in my opinion, that were like, this is a little different. Because the last time that I remember facing UAPB was when I was with PV.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think that they've done some great things. They've done some better things. I think they've gotten better. I think they've done some good things. I don't know if every time I've seen them, from the little times that I have seen them, that I can say the consistency has been there.
I can
So,
agree with that.
huh?
I can agree with that too.
There. So that's my thought process.
Okay. What other school you got?
All right. So I'm first of all I'm trying to make sure I got all the schools here. So I got Alabama A&M, Alabama State, Alcorn, Bethune, FAM, Grambling, Jackson, Mississippi Valley, PV Southern, UAPB.
Mm-hmm.
Are we counting Bethune and FAM?
Nah.
This is an unfortunate thing. Listen, Bethune and FAM people, this is not a situation where we think that you are
A
not
bad.
right. We don't think you're bad programs. It's just the fact that historically you all have been in the MEAC. Historically, there is a certain way that you all, I
Perform,
guess,
play.
approach the marching band that doesn't necessarily line up with the SWAC,
Hey, you know what it is? You know what
and
it is?
y'all further away. So it's
I,
like,
I give you this example, bro. It's like when they told us Pluto was a star.
yeah,
Pluto is a planet, bro. Pluto
it's
is
a
a planet.
planet. Don't
It's a planet.
matter. You
It
still a
don't
planet.
matter. Pluto a planet, baby. It's a
Right.
planet.
Yeah.
It's like
Eventually, there will be a full acceptance of the two programs in the SWAC, but it's probably going to be after all us old guys like die off and nobody remembers when they were in the MEAC.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's just what it is. All right.
Yeah.
So with that being said, so if we're not counting, see, I got to make sure I'm a little old, so I got to write stuff down. So if we not counting Bethune and FAM, we got Alabama, A&M, Alabama State, Alcorn, Grambling, Jackson, Mississippi Valley, PV Southern, and UAPB. All right. So that's what, 6, 7, 8, 9 programs. 9 programs in total.
Mhm.
So let's talk about, I'm going to go down the list. Alabama A&M.
Like, am I giving a number? Like, how are we doing it?
Well, give your thoughts on their year. We can rank them at the end.
I think I'm just thinking about my time frame. We might have to do a part 2 of this, but I'm just looking at it though. Alabama A&M. I looked at them from band camp to the end of the year. I like it. I like them. I like the
Yeah.
direction that they're going. I feel like they have an eclectic book.
Agree.
I feel like they doing some good stuff. I really, really do.
Yeah, I don't disagree with them. I think they started the year very strong. I think they've had some decent battles with some programs this year. drill wise, I like what they're doing from a drill perspective. You know, a couple of things that they can definitely clean up. Um, all in all, though, I don't necessarily think that they're, you know, I think they're trending up. I think it's a continuous trend up, though.
Absolutely.
Alabama State.
Here's the crazy thing: they really hit or miss.
I agree.
Like
Facts.
when they be
Facts.
on, I'll be like, hell yeah, and then I'll be like,
What
then it be,
happened?
yeah. Like remember,
What battle was that they had? I can't this year, and somebody tore him a new a foothold, and I was like, dog, fight back, Alabama State, fight back. I don't what who I can't
think that
remember.
was Southern. I think that was Southern.
I don't know if that was that Southern.
I think that was Southern, bro. But what's crazy is they were fighting like when they played that gospel song against Jackson State. That was funny, and they kept trolling them. That was funny. But like Jackson told him a new one. But what's crazy is it's like when it comes to like Alabama A&M, I'm sorry, not A&M, Alabama State though, it's like when they really on, bro.
They
Like,
own.
like remember that year after COVID, I was like, oh my God, like this is my favorite band. When they was playing all them Erica Badu, you know what I'm saying? Those
Yes.
Erica Badu joints, I was like this it. When they played that Gunna, they had a song by Gunna that was dope. Not F You Mean, but it was another one. Man, I gotta look it up, but it was dope. But it's like, and then it be like hit or miss. It'd be like hit or miss, bro.
They'll be good and strong for like, and it'll be like a succession of like 3 or 4 games, and then all of a sudden it's like 2 of them be like what happened? Like did y'all work on this? Like yeah, Alabama State is definitely hit and miss. All right, let's keep it going because I know we gotta make sure we make time. Alcorn.
If I gotta fight somebody, it is what it is. I don't like Alcorn, bro. I don't. I don't. I think they really have like energy. They be hype, but it's like I just feel like they be overplaying, bro. I I just do. It ain't no hate, ain't no trolling. I just feel like they be overplaying, bro.
I can't argue with that.
You say 40 trumpets away. What? Nah, Alcorn is not top 3, bro. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I don't know what it is about Alcorn. I'm gonna be honest. That year that we faced PV faced Alcorn in the rain. In my opinion, that was probably a better sounding Alcorn during that time.
But they really be loud, bro. Like, but I'm not talking about like loud, like oh my God, like a bombastic sound in the words of Rick, but it's like they be fighting each other, bro.
Yeah.
Like for real, like sometimes they be fighting each other.
You're kind of saying like instead of playing as a band, they're playing as though they're trying to outplay a section.
Like, yeah, bro. It's just like the balance for me. It's I don't fat mouth nobody, but I'm just saying it's like I don't know, bro. It's just like sometimes it just be, hey, bro, like tell us pull back, like mix your band. Like if it was a mixing board, like I don't fix that for me, dog. That's just how I feel.
Okay. All right. Grambling.
I feel like Grambling kind of like don't know who they want to be right now.
Grambling, to me, again, I'm with you. I'm gonna say this. I'm not trying to throw shade at nobody, but I feel like Grambling is trying to build their program around the euphoniums.
Yeah. But I feel
And I
like
don't
they
even
don't,
know if the euphoniums are strong enough.
but I feel like they don't know who their identity is right now. Like
What do you mean?
like I ain't gonna lie, when we played Gremlin, like their euphoniums was good and they tubas was good.
You talking about back then? I'm talking about now. You talking about
But I'm
during PV? When PV
yeah,
played them this year?
no, what I'm saying is they've always had a like their greatest attribute was the euphonium section.
Oh,
Like period in the tuba section. But what I'm saying is like right now, it's like sometimes it's like Gremlin will be like, oh, that was a good song. That's what's up. And then it'd be like, all right, so like what else? You know what I'm saying? Like what else we got? What I'm saying is if you look at in my opinion, the history of Gremlin, like they had a good, crisp, clean sound. The Conrad Hutchinson, all the early days of Dr. Pennell. But like now it's almost like when they get in front of Southern, it's like they lose all of that.
so and I'm glad you said that. In the comment section, I generally don't always go to the comment section, but I'm gonna ask this question. In the comment section at the Bayou, what was it like in the room? Because I can tell you from watching multiple videos, I was like, dog, what is going on with Grambling? Like, what is this? This doesn't feel like a Bayou. It just doesn't. And I'm talking about the Battle of the Bands. So if you were there at the battle, tell me inside the comment section that maybe I heard something different. Maybe I needed to listen with my headphones. I think that's what it is. Maybe I needed to put my headphones to get the surround sound experience. But I know that when I watched it, I was just like, I don't know if Gremlin really cared about this one. I don't know. That's just kind of how I felt. And I could be completely wrong. While y'all typing that, let's go to the next group. Jackson.
Top 2 bands in the country.
Okay.
However you want to put it, top 2.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I there's no negative that I can say about that. And I want to be very clear to everybody who has subscribed to this channel, all the people who watch all of my LBRs and all that kind of stuff. Because I think somebody asked me this before. I do not have a favorite band. As a person who marched in the Legion, I will tell you I love the Legion, but I can also be honest in saying that the Legion isn't my favorite band. I don't have one because I don't have a bias. The only thing I have a bias about is drum majors. And I feel like Jackson has the best drum majors, period. That's it. That's it. So with that being said, I just wanted to make sure I made that very clear. All right. Mississippi Valley.
All right, bro. So for what Dr. Bonds has done in this short amount of time is damn near a miracle on how he made his recruits like make those kids come there. Like the dude just got a gift.
I agree.
But they don't have an identity either.
They do. Talladega.
But can I say this? It was a point where Talladega, I was like, even though people was upset how they formed, there was some years of Talladega, bro. They didn't just sound horrible. They didn't sound bad. I looked at that battle with was it Jackson in Mississippi Valley, I think. I just didn't like it, bro. It's like,
yeah, I know what you're talking about. So, but I can I offer a thought, and I could be extremely wrong, right? I remember the first time that I heard Talladega was Tunnel during the Mardi Gras, and I was like, dude, who is this program? And then I didn't really hear them again until maybe about a year or so later.
Mm-hmm.
So they had time to, because I mean, obviously, if you're under a tunnel, you got reverb and stuff like that. It's going to create a great sound or a bigger sound. And that's not to say that they didn't have a big sound then. But what I am saying is they had time to refine and build their sound. I think Valley is in this point of, all right, we got all these kids. We had a pretty decent year the year before. Now we got a full year this year again. Let's try to continue to build on the sound that we have, whatever that sound is. I think that they may be better next year. Maybe that's a big hope and a big ask. But I don't feel like their sound is defined. I think they're in the Alcorn state where they just play. They just play. And I don't think it's fully defined yet. That's my thought. I could be completely wrong.
I agree with you, bro.
You're like, all right, I guess. Yeah. If you can if that's your way of looking at it, but got you.
Because I'm gonna say this, like, honestly, if you really listen across the bands, like when we were coming up, and I hate for us to sound like,
Old
the
people.
old guys, but back in the day, we used to close our eyes and be like, oh, that's that band.
But you can't do that with most bands. That has nothing to do with Valley.
No. I'm just saying. I'm just speaking. Period.
Okay. All right. Got you. Okay. Fine.
Calm down. Like, no, I'm just saying, like now you hear a band and it's like you may name 3 to 4 bands before you get the right band. Like, and I guess that's all I've been saying. And I think that's because the lack thereof of arranging courses to develop your sound. That's my opinion.
The reason why I disagree with that, and maybe there's some validity to what you're saying. So let me say that. But the reason why I disagree with that is because I think everything right now is all about popularity. I think everything now is about clicks, views, and likes. I think everything now is, and I mean, obviously, you want to try to get your recruitment up as well, right? And so, a lot of kids go to programs that seem to be the most popular. Well, how do I get my program to be the popular program? I build my program or I build my sound based on whatever that popular program is. So I think that is kind of what's happening. I think that everybody's searching to try to find the popular sound so that they can become the popular group. And I think that's kind of what is taking place.
Well, brother, where I respectfully disagree with you, I look at it like this. FAMU doesn't have to recruit. After the situation with what's the gentleman that? Okay, well let me use
you
this
got
one.
Years of lineage to that.
Oh, still, bro. They and guess what? They worked their way back for their sound. Now,
I'm sorry. I have to earnestly disagree. Well, if we're talking about FAM, I don't think that FAM sounds like the same FAM pre-Robert Champion. And let's not also forget that FAM took the crank up route this year. And in my opinion, it didn't sound good. Now, do I think that FAM sounds great on the field? Yes. Mm-hmm. But in my opinion, their stands presence isn't as strong as it used to be. But when you talk about recruitment, historically, they're FAM. That's like Southern. They're Southern.
Yeah, but your point was, before I go, your point was from a recruitment standpoint. So then your point is kind of moot. This is why, because if it's legendary and has a legacy of that magnitude, then you don't have to recruit. Then you didn't even have to crank in the stands. You could have just continued being you.
No,
Bethune-Cookman, same thing.
That wasn't the conversation. That wasn't the conversation, though. That's not what you said. Okay. You said that every band sounds the same. And I'm saying that a lot of that has to do with trying to garner views, likes, and opinions, or views, likes, and even to a lesser extent, recruitment. I'm not talking about the fams and the Southerns. I'm talking about the other folks that don't typically sound like that.
How? So you telling me? So okay,
Valley.
So
if we go down this list, Valley.
Okay, so let's speak about
Valley. You said Grambling. You said Grambling, like
right. But
Grambling
what I'm saying
sound
is
like old school Grambling.
Yeah, but here's the thing. But again, their legacy, their lineage. If that's the case, it's out the window too. Then, right?
I agree.
So, but what I'm saying is, they don't have to recruit because I ain't trying to be funny, and I'm not saying this in a malicious way. I don't know how many people be like, man, I'm going to Grambling, but every year they're big. Come on, bro. Like I'm not being ugly. I'm just being genuine. Like my kids be like, we're like, where y'all going? Oh, we going blah, blah, blah. You talk to other kids around Houston, and then all of a sudden they end up at ground. I'll be like, damn. Like it's like a best kept secret damn near.
Now, I mean, there could be a lot to that, right? So and I'm not trying to fall back or make excuses because I still stand by what I said. But in situations like that, there could be a lot to it. I don't know what that money talking about because kids talk money. I don't know what the percentage is of the band that's made up for the kids that's from that area. So there's a lot to that. The lineage of parents that may have attended Grambling. That hey, you going to Grambling, just like people who are from Southern. Oh, my kid going to Southern. Like there may be those variables associated with that as well.
Okay, so let me keep moseying on down. So with Valley though, Valley went almost like what a 10-year, like they didn't have. Let's be real. Valley went through was it 10 years? Like it was a long time.
It was wild. It was wild.
Of not having, I'm not gonna say nothing, but really nothing. And then Dr. Bond's coming, then boom. They started building. You look at
Bonds came in. They then got notoriety. Boom.
There's no different from PV then, bro. PV don't sound like the same PV I marched with.
PV don't sound like the same PV you marched with. But
y'all had to build it. Y'all had to build it.
Right. But that has nothing to do with the original argument, which the original argument was the bands sound the same. Right? If you so let's break this off. What bands to you, if you close your eyes right now, could you say that you can pinpoint who they are?
Southern, Jackson.
I disagree.
PV, FAMU, North Carolina A&T, Norfolk.
Well, we were only talking about the SWAC, but you went further. All right.
AM. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Let's just stick with SWAC. You're right. My apologies. Okay. PV.
Mm-hmm.
Give me another school in SWAC.
Alabama A&M, Alabama State, Alcorn, Grambling.
Gotcha. I could tell PV. I could tell Southern. I could tell Alabama A&M. I could tell Alabama State.
So I can't remember if it was not Bayou, if it was the Boombox Classic this year. I think it was the Boombox battle that they had. You mean to tell me, you close your eyes, you can tell the difference between Jackson and Southern? Because I did it, and I was like, bruh, I can't tell them apart.
I could. I think because I've been listening to Southern my whole life.
Nah. No. The reason why I say that is because some of the arrangements, and this is no knock on them, because I think that they sound fine, so I'm not saying that they sound bad. But some of their arrangements are slightly different than how they normally would arrange.
You mean from back in the day?
Yes.
Okay, I agree.
And so when I listened to it, when I closed my eyes, I was like, I don't know who's who. If you put who else? Alcorn and Valley in the same room, and they're
I
playing.
ain't gonna like.
Could you
I
tell the
ain't gonna like.
difference?
I ain't gonna like
Not
nothing
not the
nobody.
point. Could you tell the difference?
Yeah, because one gonna be worse than the other.
See, here we go.
You asked me, bro.
Okay. All right. My point to hone in on the point though is that there's very little number of bands that you can tell the difference. PV, I absolutely agree with. I would go
But
so
like,
far to say as Alabama A&M. I would definitely agree with.
hey,
UAPB, maybe. Yes.
I do want to answer this to Smash Time. In certain aspects, they would. See, that's how I'm a real one. He asked the question. He said, "New PV will smash on the old one because they have a book. Yeah, they have a different book. Yeah, they do. That book was better. Their book is better, way better,
Okay.
way better."
Because you have to remember
Mm-hmm.
when I was at PV,
I'm gonna be real,
that was
bro.
almost
PV,
10 years ago. Matter of fact, it was more than 10 years ago.
Bro, PV 19. Like real talk. Like, I ain't trying to be funny. If PV 19 would have kept that trajectory, like
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with you. But what I'm saying is the reason why I say that is because what old PV are you comparing it to? Because my years at PV was over 10 years ago. So are you talking about your old PV? Are you talking about before you old PV? Are you talking about when I was at PV? Like, what old PV are we talking about?
Nah, he just said old PV. So I'm gonna just say when I was there. So
Okay.
when I watched, yeah, they definitely.
So then I would agree with that. I would absolutely agree with that.
Definitely would have. If you talking about 04 PV, they would have given Moran for their money though. I ain't trying to be funny. 04 PV was good. Straight up. Not 05, not 06 when I crab. 08 would have gave him a run for their money. Being honest. Like, see, that's the thing about Quan. I'm honest. Now, can I say this? And I'm saying this respectfully to everybody. No year they would have messed over the box though. No year.
See, that's you and y'all the McFunk box thing. That's y'all. That's it's box over everybody. So I mean,
hey. Sorry. Sorry, bro. Hey, it's 840 though, big dog.
Yeah. All right, we didn't get to PV and Southern. Those are the two programs we didn't get to. I mean, if you want to give some quick ones, shoot off some quick ones, pause real quick. Just to make sure we cover everybody before we tip.
Southern, again, Southern top two, one of the top two bands in the country. PV, honestly, PV is a top 5 band, in my opinion, and that's not an aspect of biasness. They really are. I feel like I'm gonna say this, and it is what it is because I'm just getting to that point in my life. A lot of people like PV, but the only reason why a lot of people hate on PV, and I'm gonna say this, is because alumni say stuff about PV. Real talk.
I definitely agree with you with Southern on the top in the top two. I would say between top 2 or top 5. I think PV's best part of the year was at the beginning of the year and at the end. I think the middle was questionable. The last couple of performances that you saw from PV, in my opinion, was like, all right, middle, debatable. Beginning, National Battle of the Bands, beginning. Yeah. So there we go. We will actually continue this because we have to continue this one because there are some other things that we got to talk about, but my brother has to run. And so because of that, we want to make sure that we respect his time, the things he has to do. And so, hey, you guys can keep the conversation going inside of the comment section. Don't forget, like, subscribe, do all the things. You can also go to our store and check out whatever it is that you want. You can get 30% off your purchase. All you have to do is type in HBCU band. Again, if you're watching this on playback, put your thoughts inside of the comment section, because we definitely read them. We look at them, all of the things. Outside of that, man, this has been super dope. I don't know if we're gonna be back in 2 weeks. I don't want to hold this conversation out for 2 weeks.
Let's try to meet next week, like on a Thursday, if we could.
Thursdays are bad days.
So
we'll work it out. We'll work it out. So y'all stay tuned. We'll work it out, and then we'll make sure that we let all y'all know. All right. Outside of that, man, this has been super dope, and we will see you all next time.